Hello, friends. Have you ever felt that your life has stopped at a point where you neither have the courage to go back, nor the hope to move forward? Where every morning seems like a burden, and every night passes with regrets? Where you laugh but are broken from within? Where the world considers you strong but you feel hollow from within? Sometimes life makes us go through such experiences that break us from within. We break in relationships. We get betrayed in trust. We get scared of failure, and gradually we get disconnected from ourselves. But have you ever thought that can something that has been shattered into pieces be put together again? Can that spark be awakened again in a person who has once lost? Can a person rebuild himself in a new version? This question takes us on a journey where we learn to rebuild ourselves again. But this journey is not easy. It passes through the wounds that we have been hiding for years, through those emotions from which we are tired of running away. This is a path where there is no shortcut or any magic formula. It is just a raw, real, and painful process in which we meet the most scary parts of ourselves. But there is a strength hidden in this pain, because when we understand ourselves completely, then we get the courage to rebuild ourselves. Rebuilding means forgiving ourselves, accepting ourselves, and standing up for ourselves. This is the same journey where we fight with ourselves, heal ourselves, and then create a new identity for ourselves. In this entire journey, no one will guide you, nor will anyone show you the way. Because the real fight goes on inside between the mind and the heart, and until you yourself want to look inside yourself, no light from outside can show you the way. Now the question is, are you ready to meet yourself? To recognize that person inside you who wakes up every day even after being broken? He tries to smile after enduring every pain. Do you want to rebuild yourself? A new version, a new mindset, and a fearless life? If yes, then this story is for you, because now the time has come to rebuild yourself, so that when you look in the mirror next time, you see a face that is not broken, but has been rebuilt, and that face will be you. Chapter 1. Rebuilding begins with awareness. Have you ever felt a strange restlessness inside you, as if despite having everything, something is incomplete? As if life is moving at its own pace, but you are lost somewhere. The morning that once seemed fresh now seems like a burden. Those people with whom you laughed, you don't feel like talking now. And the scariest thing is that you are not able to feel yourself properly now. This is where the journey which is called rebuilding begins. But the first step of this journey is awareness. Awareness means questioning yourself. Am I really happy? Is my life meeting my expectations? Am I the same person I once dreamed of becoming? And when the answers to these questions are found in silence, something inside the heart starts breaking. But in this breaking, a new seed is sown. The seed of change. Most people get scared and turn back at this turning point, because it is not easy to face one's own truth. We find it easy to blame others, time, circumstances, people. But the truth is that no healing will begin until we listen to our own inner voice. Awareness teaches us that change begins from within, not outside. When you recognize your emotional wands, accept your suppressed feelings, only then do you start becoming strong from within. This is the moment where you see yourself with honesty for the first time. Neither in a show-off nor in a social mask, but with your reality, and from here begins the rebuilding that gives a new meaning to life. Awareness is like a mirror which clearly shows every reality inside you. Perhaps it is not the pretense that you show to the world, But that is the truth that is necessary to change you. And when you look into this mirror without fear, only then you are able to tell yourself that now it is enough. Now I have to rebuild myself. So are you ready to look into that mirror? Because this is where the real change begins. Chapter to Understanding and Healing Trauma. Sometimes we keep moving forward in life, without stopping, without getting tired. But inside we are carrying those incomplete chapters which we have never closed properly. Those things which had become a wound in the heart in childhood. Those people who broke our trust. Those failures which do not let us sleep at night even today. Those things which we could not tell anyone and gradually hid even from ourselves. These are our traumas which are not visible, but deep inside, it silently controls our thoughts, our decisions, our relationships, and even our identity. Trauma is not just a painful memory. It is an invisible poison that slowly kills our soul, without making any noise, without anyone knowing. We face others with a smile, but deep inside we feel broken. We look perfectly normal, but are shattered at the emotional level. And the scariest thing is that we don't even know that we are hurt from within. That's why the first step to healing is to understand. Recognize your trauma, validate it rather than ignore it, or pretend that I am okay. Because until you accept that you are hurt, you will not give yourself permission to heal. Healing is not a magical process. It is a painful journey, where you have to revisit those painful moments from which you have been running away. Maybe you have to cry, fight with yourself. Sometimes you will get angry at yourself. Sometimes you will feel guilty. But believe me, every emotion is a step towards your recovery, and a day will come when the same wounds that broke you will become your biggest strengths. Healing trauma means accepting your past and closing it as a chapter that will no longer define your story, but will take you on a new path. Because real freedom is achieved when you stop holding on to your past. So if you still feel hurt somewhere inside you, then tell yourself that I will not run away anymore. I will face it, feel it, and then heal it. This is the promise with which your healing journey begins. Chapter 3. Letting go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes our biggest pain is not what someone has given us, but it is what we are not letting go of. Old memories, toxic relationships, negative beliefs about ourselves, or the guilt that has been a burden on the heart for years. We think that if we let go of something, we will probably look weak. Maybe people will say that we have given up. But the truth is that letting go is not a weakness, but the biggest strength. Because leaving is not just saying goodbye to a person or a memory, but it is telling yourself that now it is enough. Now I will not keep anything at the cost of my peace. We often carry that baggage for years, which has consumed our emotional energy. We are never able to forget someone's words. We are never able to remove any old betrayal from our heart. And the most dangerous thing is that we start measuring our worth with those experiences. But do you know that your past is not your identity? Your mistake does not decide your future. And the most important thing is that no person is the owner of your happiness. Letting go means giving yourself permission to move forward. Telling your heart that now I will listen to you. Telling your mind that now I do not want control but peace. Perhaps it will not be easy to forgive the person who betrayed you. Perhaps it will be difficult to forget that failure which shook your entire self-confidence. Perhaps forgiving yourself will be the most painful process. But remember that the things that you are holding on to tightly are the ones that are pulling you down the most. Letting go does not mean that you are weak. Rather, it means that you are now ready to leave behind that old version which was just surviving. Now is the time to thrive. So if even today there is a corner in your heart where some old pain is sitting, there is a name which makes your heart beat faster on hearing it. There is some guilt which you carry silently every day. So, make a promise to yourself today. I will let go of that thing which is now coming in the way of my peace, my growth, and my life. Because only when you learn to let go, you start flying. Chapter 4. Embracing Self-Love. Have you ever noticed? When we love someone, we accept them with their every flaw. We understand their weaknesses. We forgive their mistakes. But when it comes to ourselves, we give ourselves the harshest punishment. We keep so many expectations from ourselves that it is beyond the capacity of a human being to fulfill them. And when we don't live up to those expectations, we blame ourselves, judge ourselves, and slowly drift away from ourselves. But think, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect acceptance? It is the foundation on which your whole life rests. When you connect with yourself, understand yourself, then you are able to build better relationships with others and unlock your inner strength. But self-love doesn't just mean having a positive attitude. It actually means accepting yourself completely, with your flaws, with your guilt, with your scars. When you look at yourself in the mirror, do you accept the person who is in front of you? Or do you just count his shortcomings? Self-love comes when you forgive yourself for the decisions you regret and give a chance to those people who hurt you, and for those days when you could not keep yourself strong. This love is born on that day when you tell yourself, I am not perfect, but I am definitely lovable. When you accept every version of your life, whether it is broken or fighting, whether it is lost or trying to be made again, the biggest gift of self-love is freedom. You become free from expectations, free from comparisons, and most importantly, free from the need for validation. Now you do not need anyone to tell you that you are good, because now you have learned to say to yourself, I am enough. So today, mute the world for a while and listen to your heart. Isn't it saying so? I also want some love from you. Because the strongest person is the one who does not forget to hug himself, even after breaking down. Chapter 5. Cultivating Emotional Resilience. Do you know who is the most admired person in life? Not the one who never falls, but the one who gets up even stronger every time after falling. Because the real strength is not in the muscles, but in the mind, and that strength is called emotional resilience. Emotional resilience does not mean that you will never be sad, or there will never be problems in your life. Rather, it means that when trouble comes, you do not break down, do not bow down, but turn that pain into strength. Many times we think that if we cry, if we are shaken from within, then perhaps we are weak. But this is not true. Feeling emotions is not a weakness. It is the deepest identity of humanity. Resilience comes when you do not suppress your emotions, but understand them, accept them, and then rise above them. Think about every time someone underestimated you. Every time someone broke your heart, every time your hopes were shattered, you still didn't stop moving forward. This is your emotional resilience, that invisible armor that made you a little stronger every time. But this strength doesn't come without training. For this, you have to ask yourself uncomfortable questions. Am I running away from my emotions? Am I making myself a victim of situations? Or am I making myself a warrior? Being resilient means trying again after failing. Staying positive even after people's negativity, and keeping that light burning inside you, which is many times brighter than the outside world. Resilience is there even when you have no one. Still, you don't let yourself fall. When the world tells you to give up, you whisper to yourself, just one more time. So, if you are going through a difficult time today, if you are tired from inside, broken, then start saying this to yourself. I have got up every time after falling, and this time too I will get up, and with more strength than before, because reliability is not a gift. This is a choice of every day, of every emotion, after every pain. And when you start making this choice every day, then you become unstoppable. Chapter 6. Setting Boundaries and Reclaiming Power. Have you ever felt that while listening to everyone, you have lost your own voice, that you have become so busy in making everyone happy that hurting yourself has started seeming normal to you? Fulfilling everyone's expectations, turning every no into yes, keeping yourself behind and putting others ahead every time. Maybe this is what you had learnt, that this is love, this is wisdom. But the truth is that when you ignore yourself again and again, then slowly your identity starts to fade away. Your emotional energy starts draining, and the most dangerous thing is that you assume that you should have no boundaries. This is where self-betrayal begins, and this is where boundaries are needed. Boundaries mean those healthy lines that decide how much you will keep, whom alone. Who can touch your emotions, and who needs to be said no for your mental peace? People often consider boundaries as ego. But boundaries mean being honest with yourself. When you learn to say no, you actually start saying yes to yourself. Creating. Boundaries means protecting your emotional space. Keeping those people out who break you repeatedly, and letting those people come close who understand you, accept you. Maybe it will seem difficult in the beginning. People will be angry, complain, feel guilty. But remember, every time you create a clear boundary, you reclaim the power within you. You give yourself the message that my feelings also matter. I also deserve respect, care, and space. Boundaries do not make you cold. They make you clear. And clarity is the strength that makes you emotionally stable, mentally peaceful, and spiritually grounded. So if even today there are people in your life who consume your energy, ignore your limits and take your presence for granted, then be bold and tell yourself that enough is enough. Now I am standing up for myself. Because only when you define your boundaries, you protect your dignity and identity. And that is reclaiming your power. From the chapter, The Journey of Forgiveness. Have you ever forgiven anyone from your heart? The person who broke you from inside, or have you forgiven yourself? For those decisions which you still regret, forgiveness. As easy as it sounds, it is actually that difficult. Because forgiveness is not just a word, it is a journey. A journey that takes us to our deepest wounds. Many of us talk about forgiving, but deep inside, we still hold that pain close to our heart, as if that wound has become our identity. Sometimes, someone broke our trust. Sometimes someone close to us left us. Sometimes we ourselves made our biggest mistake, and then we keep repeating that pain. In every thought, in every memory, every time we live blaming that person or that situation. But the truth is that the more times we repeat that pain, the more times we imprison ourselves. Forgiveness is not for others. It is first of all for oneself. Forgiving does not mean that we accept that mistake as right, or that we are giving that person another chance. Rather, it means that we want to remove the burden from our heart so that we can move forward. We can live freely. When we forgive, we remove the poison inside us, the poison that is slowly eating our happiness, our peace, and our soul. And the most important thing is that we have to learn to forgive ourselves. Because we all have taken such decisions, which we regret even today. But until you forgive yourself, you will not be able to connect with yourself. Forgiveness is freedom. It is a silent whisper, with that sense that I do not want to be imprisoned anymore. I now want to live by connecting with myself, and not with that pain. So if even today there is a name in your heart whose memory fills your eyes with tears, or there is an old version of yourself thinking of which you feel embarrassed, then make a small start today. Tell yourself that I forgive them as well as myself, because now I want freedom. I want to live with complete truth, because forgiveness is not defeat. It is the victory that liberates you from within. Chapter at Living Authentically and Fearlessly. Have you ever stood in a crowd and felt that even though you are amongst everyone, you are very far from yourself? That what you are showing is not the real you, but a version that you have put on yourself to please the world. We keep changing our face tone and behavior at every turn of life, so that people like us, accept us, do not judge us. And in this effort, we lose that pure, raw, and real person inside us who wanted only one thing: to live himself as he is. But there is a question: till when? Till when will we hide ourselves, suppress our authenticity, and live only for approval? Living authentically means listening to the voice within you, embracing your truth, and giving yourself permission to believe that I am fine the way I am is not an easy path, because when you live in your true form, people are shocked. Some will get angry, some will move away. Some will say that you have changed. But the truth is that you have not changed. You have come out in your true form for the first time. Living an authentic life means having the courage to say no, sticking to your values, and moving forward even while facing your fears. And here comes the second word: fearlessly. Everyone has the fear of rejection, failure, and being left alone. But when you hold on to authenticity, slowly that fear stops dominating you. You do not need people's validation because you have learned to approve yourself. Now you live with that truth in which there is neither pretense nor comparison. There is only clarity about who I am and what kind of life I want to live. And this is real freedom. When you are neither playing roles nor wearing masks, but living every day in the most real version of yourself. So if even today there is this voice somewhere inside you that says, I am tired of pretending, I now want to live only for myself, then tell yourself just one thing: no more. Now I will be who I am and will live the way my soul wants, because this world needs your real version and not your perfect version. So friends, this was not just a book. It was a mirror in which you saw yourself, felt your shadows, and understood those parts which you had been ignoring till now. Rebuild yourself does not give any shortcuts, nor does it say that life will become easy. Rather, it introduces you to the truth that has come not to break you, but to connect you deeply, because real rebuilding starts from where you do not run away from your broken parts, but pick them up with love and learn to join them again. In this journey, you question yourself, forgive yourself. You learn to heal old wounds by feeling them, and then one day you stand in front of that version of yourself, which is not weak, but is fully awake. It is self-reliant. This is the real self. Transformation. Neither with any noise nor with any show, just the birth of a new soul silently inside. So if you are feeling even a little inspired by watching this video today, if that voice has awakened somewhere inside you which is saying that I too can rebuild myself, then understand that your first step has started. Now do not stop. Now do not look back nor doubt yourself. Now just live every day, every thought, every decision according to that new version which will not only survive but will shine. If you like this video from your heart, then definitely like it and write in the comment "I choose to rebuild myself," so that we can know that you too are a part of this powerful journey. And if you want to understand the essence of such emotionally deep, inspiring, and life-changing books, then definitely subscribe to Bookpedia, because the next book, the next change may become the next turning point of your life. See you in the next video. Till then, remember that the one